This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
All right, good evening to you. A little bit of cloud cover out there tonight, but we are dry. Look at all the rain that is out to our west. Iowa, Missouri, a nice what we call a ridge beginning to build in here, and that ridge is going to help keep us dry over the next several days. But at the same time, it's really going to boost our temperatures up. It is a very mild 72 in Effingham right now, 74 in Springfield, and 68 degrees in Champaign right now. We want to get you hour by hour into the future for tomorrow, and this is what it's going to look like. Look at these temperatures jumping to those mid-80s as we go throughout the afternoon under partly cloudy skies, plenty of sunshine throughout the day. When we come back, we talk about temperatures getting near 90. It's coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
It was a chance to honor, mourn, and grieve how a community showed support for a fallen officer's family. And that continued on a softball field, how his daughter decided to honor his memory. Plus, it's been a year since 100 dogs were surrendered to a humane society. What's happened to the breeder accused of hoarding them?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Monticello has had a surreal day. It's been unbelievable.
People in Monticello and beyond are hurting. Hundreds of them gathered to pay their respects to a fallen officer. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. A procession today escorted Chris Oberheim's body to a funeral home in Decatur from Urbana. The Champaign police officer died while on the job yesterday. Tonight, Monticello Christian Church opened its doors to people who knew Oberheim and people who didn't. WCIA 3's Bryce Beeman joins us. And Bryce, they say this was a community event, not just a church event.
They said it didn't matter if you went to the church or not. They just wanted people to feel comfortable coming to the church to grieve.
Helping people kind of work through the emotions and taking some of the first steps toward dealing with this loss.
A city is in mourning after losing a major part of their town.
Chris meant a lot to our community. His family means a lot to our community, and this is a way that we can bring some faith and hope back to people and an opportunity for them to grieve.
44-year-old officer Chris Oberheim was shot and killed while responding to a domestic dispute. He leaves behind his wife and daughters.
He emphasized the girl dad. I mean, he has 4 girls. He was a strong man.
One of his daughters played a softball game the day after the death of her dad, but she wanted to honor him, knowing he'd want her there.
He was a man that was a great father, a great husband, and a great community member, and he'll be sorely missed.
And while the family is mourning, the community in Monticello is trying to help. At the prayer, people could write notes to the Oberheim family, and the church would personally deliver them.
Someone like Chris is a pillar that makes most communities. He makes them stronger.
But it's not just the family heartbroken. People from all over the city are trying to deal with the grief that struck their community.
This is about the community coming together. Doesn't matter who you are, if you're even connected with the church or not, but we know that all the churches in the area want to be team players.
The senior minister said he wants to support anyone hurting during this time.
If it helps a lot of people, that's awesome, and we hope God gets the glory for that. If we help one person, we are going to feel like it's all been worth it, if that one person can find their way through this.
The church encourages anyone to reach out to them if you need any support. Jessica?
All right, Bryce, thank you. We mentioned Officer Oberheim's daughter played in a softball game today, knowing her father would want her to be there. We'll have more on that game coming up in sports. Oberheim's body was escorted by police from Urbana to Monticello, then to a funeral home in Decatur. Flags and people lined the streets holding signs as law enforcement rode by to take Oberheim home. Those in Monticello say he'll be missed.
I knew Officer Oberheim as a parent with his kids coming through the school district, and he's always been willing to help and volunteer and be wherever his kids or the rest of the kids and the staff in the school community have needed him to be.
As I said, that procession ended in Decatur, where Oberheim grew up. Overpasses along the ride were lined with flags and those paying their respects.
I think the community needs to show that they're grieving. I think that they need to show support for law enforcement. They need to show support for the officer's family. And I think that my understanding is they're lined up along the highway. I just think it's a horrible tragedy, and I think people need to come together to grieve.
People who attended the procession say Oberheim will be remembered for his love, for his family, and his commitment to helping others. A 12-year-old boy in Florida honored Officer Oberheim in his own way tonight. Zechariah, with Running for Heroes, ran a mile with a blue line flag in his memory. He was joined by Florida law enforcement for the 7-lap journey. That flag will be sent to Oberheim's family. We have a video of the full run on our website. Now, state police are in charge of yesterday's shooting investigation. Police say Officer Oberheim and another officer were met with an armed person at a domestic disturbance call. That's when the gunfire started. Police have not said who shot first. 24-year-old Darion Lafayette died at the scene. Officer Oberheim died at the hospital. The other officer involved is still recovering. Police have not released more details, including that second officer's name. With those deaths on the forefront of people's minds, groups in Champaign held a rally today, calling for people to put guns down. Members of HV Neighborhood Transformation and Bethel AME Church gathered at Hessel Park. Dozens were there mourning the loss of life. Organizers say it's important not to lose sight of the impact gun violence has on the whole community.
It plays a part, and there's nothing different. Even with the officer that lost his life, we mourn that. Right? Darion, we mourn his life too. Right, so we all got to get together and figure out what are these things that's creating this kind of environment where guns are the only way that we can solve any issue that we have.
He says it's important that leaders find a solution before more innocent people get hurt. Other news tonight in Livingston County, the sheriff's office is investigating a deadly shooting in Cullum. Officials were called before noon after someone was shot. Victim died at the scene. Their name has not been released. Here's an update. Another firefighter is out of the hospital after a fire in Beardstown that happened Sunday night. 3 firefighters were hurt. The first was released Monday. Earlier today, the mayor said the chief was still in the hospital but could be released soon. The state fire marshal's office is still investigating that fire. A factory fire southwest of Arthur took 5 hours to put out. This happened at Circle T Manufacturing. A fire chief says the building was filled with flames. They called in 7 more departments to help. Investigators believe it may have started in a paint room. New at 10, no one was hurt after a semi-truck caught fire on the interstate. This happened in Iroquois County, southwest of Buckley today. State police say the driver noticed fire coming from the rear tires and pulled onto the shoulder. Fire spread to the cab and an exploding tire hit a passing car. Both drivers are okay. Here's a follow-up. An animal control officer says a breeder accused of hoarding dogs has admitted guilt. We told you last year 100 dogs were surrendered to the Vermilion County Department of Animal Regulation. Janine Roderick owned the King and Queen Puppy Palace. Authorities found the dogs with dental issues, parasites, and eye infections. Officials from Animal Regulation say she had a kennel name and was not licensed and received thousands for her puppies. They say it's important you research before buying a pet.
It's always better to be safe than sorry. Whether you think something's going on or not and you think there might be an issue, please say something, because we know for sure by her internet history on her breeder page that she ran this breeding facility for years and years.
All those puppies have been adopted. That owner is on court probation for 2 years. She sold her home and left. Officials say they're not sure where she currently lives. Here's an update. An Eiu student is dropping a lawsuit against police after being arrested. The ACLU says Jalen Butler has reached a settlement with officers in East Moline and Hampton. His swim team bus stopped on I-80 2 years ago. It's when police showed up, pointed a gun at him, and shoved him to the ground. They had the wrong guy, but still searched and held him. He was later released. Butler says the lawsuit was about holding police accountable. The Illinois Senate welcomed some unique guests to a committee hearing today. Emily Collins and Keegan Hall just graduated from Pontiac High School, and they also just wrote and passed a bill to the Senate floor. Their proposal would form a task force. The goal? To require Illinois to conserve 30% of land by 2030. They say it's crucial to have young people steering conversations about the environment.
Like the proverb said, we're not inheriting this world, we're borrowing it from our children, so we got to give the future generation, not only my generation, but the generations underneath of me, they have to have as much of a say as we do. Otherwise, you know, it's never going to change. It's their world, not ours.
The bill passed unanimously through the House and now heads to the Senate floor, and if it passes, both Collins and Hall will have a seat on that task force. Also from the state, officials announced more than 1,500 new COVID cases today. Another 42 people have died. Positivity rate is still 2.7%. Nearly 90,000 vaccinations were done yesterday. The average for those is nearly 66,000 a day. More than 38% of the state is fully vaccinated. It'll be an exciting time for kids this time next year. We'll tell you what just broke ground. Plus, fallen officer Overheim's daughter chose to play today on the softball field what her coach said her father would have loved when she was up at bat. All right, Kevin, I think a lot of people turning on that AC here.
Yeah, if they haven't already done it, they probably will by this weekend as temperatures really warm up. Let's recap and show you what we had today for a high 85, 10 degrees above normal. That will continue to be the case all the way into early next week. We'll talk about the warmth and when we will see our next storm chance coming up.